morning everyone, and welcome to another What I Eat in a Day. I thought I would go ahead and film another one of these because I know some of you guys like these. At least I think you do. Let me know if you're still liking the What I Eat in a Days. They're a little tricky for me sometimes because I do get in a rut and I tend to kind of eat the same thing for lunch a lot of the times, at least, if not dinner too. But I do still like to do these, especially if you guys like to still see them. So please let me know if you still like these kind of videos, and I will try to keep doing them. But anyway, that's what I'm doing today, a What I Eat in a Day. I just got back from walking the dogs, drinking my water, and now I am going to get my day started like I almost always do with my coffee. So I'll go ahead and turn you around and show you that. So today I'm just having the donut shop, which is probably still one of my favorites, K-Cups. Just get those at Sam's Club, it's their brand. And today I'm using zero sugar, Italian sweet cream, still my favorite creamer. It is 15 calories and 0 points if you just use a tablespoon, so that's what I'm gonna use. So that's gonna make my coffee 0 points, and that is the start of my day. I will be back at lunch to show you my first meal. And also with my coffee, as always, I'll be drinking my water out of my Hydro Flask here. And I had to add this little clip in because I thought it was cute. I'm up in my office, drinking my coffee, working on a video, and there is my little Rocky being my shadow, as usual. I am never alone for more than about 30 seconds. I swear with this dog, he's either always right next to me or my husband. For lunch today, I'm gonna make up some air fryer pizzas, just really simple ones. I've got some marinara sauce I need to use up and some leftover turkey pepperoni. I don't necessarily need to use it up, but I've got it there. So I figured I'd make up some pizzas. And these are really, really easy and fairly quick in the air fryer. So as usual, I'm gonna be using the 2-ingredient pizza dough for my dough, which is just a cup of self-rising flour. And then I just do 3/4 cup of the fat-free Greek yogurt. I don't do the cup per cup ratio because when you do that, you end up having to use too much flour to knead it out. I do factor in 1/8 a cup of flour, extra flour, to knead and roll the dough though. So I'm gonna get that mixing, but first, I'm gonna add in a little granulated garlic just for a little extra flavor. Probably just 1/4 teaspoon or so. And then I'm gonna mix all of this together until it starts to form a dough, and at that point I will be back. Okay, I've got this looking like dough now, so I'm gonna add a little bit of flour. And then I'm gonna knead this for about 5 minutes. And I always say that this dough kinda turns out a little bit differently every single time I make it, but I do notice it turns out the best when I do knead it for a full 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do that and then I will be back. I've got this all kneaded out, so now I'm gonna cut it into 4s. I'm gonna do 4 individual pizzas, and I'm gonna roll out each one of these into kind of an oval shape. I'm gonna be putting 2 of these in my air fryer at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these out and then I will be back. Okay, I've got those rolled out. They're probably a little too big, but it's okay. I can make them fit in there. And then here's my air fryer basket that I've got a silicone liner in, so these hopefully don't stick too much. I'm gonna go ahead and spritz that liner with a little bit of olive oil for extra protection. And then I'm gonna lay my dough in there. And then I'm gonna spritz the tops of these with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm going to air fry these at 375 for just a couple of minutes, and that's just to get kind of a seal on this dough before I add my toppings. And then that way it will be a little crisper, less soggy. You don't have to do this step if you don't want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But like I said, I'm gonna put this in for 2 minutes on 375 and I will be back. All right, I let those cook in there for a couple minutes. Now I'm gonna add some of my homemade marinara sauce to each one of these, about a 1/4 cup. Spread that around. And I will have this marinara sauce linked down below if you haven't seen it yet. I really like it. I use it for a lot of different things, and it's pretty low points. Okay, so next up I'm gonna be adding some part-skim mozzarella. I've got 3/4 cup total here. I'm gonna be adding about 3 tablespoons to each one. And then next, some of this turkey pepperoni. I'm gonna be adding 5 slices to each. And by the way, I have my air fryer basket on a silicone liner here. Otherwise it'd be way too hot for my counter and burn it. Next up, I'm gonna add some of these blue cheese crumbles, just a tablespoon to each one. A lot of the times I add Parmesan, but I don't have any of that, but I do have the blue cheese, and that kind of sounded good, so I'm just gonna sprinkle this on. Then I'm gonna add a little dried oregano. And since these two are for my husband and I'm gonna add a little crushed red pepper. My son would definitely not be a fan of that. Probably not the blue cheese either, to be honest. But maybe. All right, now I'm gonna put these back in the air fryer at 375 for about 5 minutes. And here they are. They smell so good. I'm gonna go ahead, I've got these other 2 started. I'm gonna go ahead and finish them, and then I'll be back and show you lunch. And here is my lunch. I've got one of those pizzas, which for me, that is gonna be 8 points. And then over here, I've got a bowl of just fresh grapes and pineapple, 0 points. And then I've got my Hydro Flask here with water. So that is gonna make my lunch total for today 8 points. For snack today, I am having a serving of cottage cheese, which is about 1/2 cup or 113 grams. I just weigh mine out on my scale here to get the right grams. So that is the Members Mark cottage cheese, and it is 3 points for a serving. I'm also having a banana for 0 points, and then I'm gonna be having 2 or 3 eggs. I'm not sure how many, but at least probably 2. And eggs are 0 point food for me, so 0 points for however many of those I end up eating. And that is gonna make my snack total for today 3 points. I am getting ready to make up some applesauce. I've got a bunch of Cosmic Crisp apples here, 12 to be exact. And I am gonna make them into applesauce because I'm not really loving what they're tasting like, to be honest. Now, I have said multiple times Cosmic Crisp are my favorite apple, and they are, but this batch of them that I got is not, it's not living up to what they're supposed to be. They're called Cosmic Crisp, and crisp is kind of the key word there for me. I like crisp apples. They're kind of a sweet tart crisp apple. These are not crisp, they're mushy. So it's kind of grossing me out, to be honest, especially since that's not what they're supposed to taste like. I mean, they're fine and everything. You can see that there's nothing wrong with them. They're not bad. I just think they've been sitting around a little too long. But I'm not gonna throw them out because that'd be a huge waste. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make applesauce out of them, and then they are gonna be delicious that way. I love making applesauce in my crock pot. It's super easy and it is 0 points. I have shown the applesauce before. I've not shown how I made it, and I had a couple people ask me how I made it. So I thought I would just show you guys real quick in this video since I'm doing it anyway, just how easy this is. But it does produce a really yummy product. So in the crock pot, you can do this in your microwave too, but I just think it's easier in the crock pot. Plus it makes your house smell amazing as it's cooking in there. So what I'm gonna do is chop these up. Typically I would peel them first. I have got way too much stuff to do today, honestly, to be sitting around peeling apples. So I'm gonna just leave the skins on this time, and it's fine. But you can do whatever you want, peel them or leave the skins on. But I'm gonna get those chopped up and then I will be back. All right, I'm adding the last of my apples in here. And I just cut them into fairly small pieces. And typically when I do this, I do about half this amount, so this is quite a lot more than I normally make. But again, I wanted to get those apples used up. So to the top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and add about a half cup of this Lakanto right here. Sweetener, the golden, so the brown sugar, 1. It's gonna just sprinkle that on the top. Then I'm gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and just a very small amount of salt. And that is everything that's in this. Now I'm gonna set it to low, give it a little bit of a stir. I'll come back and stir it more once these apples have kind of shrunk down a little bit and it's easier, but I'm gonna just put the lid on it and cook it for about probably 2.5 hours. Usually when I do half this amount, it's around 2 hours. So we'll see how long it takes, but a minimum of probably 2.5 hours. For dinner tonight, I'm having some of this leftover Pioneer Woman's chicken spaghetti. Really good stuff. I just showed this, or I just filmed this for my next What's for Dinner video, so that'll be coming out. If you haven't seen that already, I have a video on this specifically, but again, it's in my next What's for Dinner. That is 4 points for a serving. Along with it, I'm just having some fresh baby carrots, and I'm probably gonna use a little bit of this Bolthouse Farms Chunky Blue Cheese dressing to dip them in. And I'm just gonna use a tablespoon, which is a point. So 4 points for the chicken spaghetti, 0 for the carrots, 1 for the dressing. So that's gonna make my dinner total for tonight 5 points. Okay, it has been 4 hours and this is more than done. It's nice and soft. I'm just trying to fog up my camera here, but anyway, definitely done. I probably didn't need to let it go that long, but it's fine still. So I'm gonna turn this off and let it cool a little bit before I eat some of it. I've got some of this dished up, and this is gonna be my dessert tonight. So as it stands by itself, it is 0 points, but I like to put some of this sundae syrup on it, sugar-free caramel. Just think it tastes really good. And it doesn't necessarily need it, because it's good by itself, but it's really good with that caramel on it. So I always weigh this out to get it accurate. And I just do 15 grams, which is a point. Sometimes I do more, but most of the time I only do about 15 grams. So there it is with that caramel on it. And like I said, that's just really good on there. I don't really use that for ice cream or anything that it's typically used for, I think. I definitely love it on this applesauce though. So that is gonna make my dessert total for tonight 1 point. And that was a full day of eating for me on WW. I ended my day at 17 points, which is 1 over what I'm supposed to be using. I don't like to use my weeklies during the week. I like to save all those up for the weekend, but sometimes it doesn't work out. Today would be one of those days, but it's only 1 point over, so I'm not too bummed about it. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed and maybe got some ideas out of this. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I will see you on the next one.